Hey guys, We're here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my personal picks for the EA Sports FIFA 19 at Team of the Year. They just released all 55 nominees about an hour ago, and FootWiz have released onto their website a new feature where you can actually vote for your Team of the Year. It's not officially counted with the EA vote, it's only big YouTubers and big people in kind of like the FIFA and football community who have a vote. I'm evidently not big enough, hence why they haven't got in touch with me, but I'll be going through, letting you guys know the 11 players I think should get into the Team of the Year. As always, if you have any differing opinions to me, let me know down below in the comments. I'll also leave a link to the actual feature on FootWiz's website where you can go and cast your vote too. So if you guys do enjoy the video, if you do, don't forget to leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new on here, and without further ado, let's go on into it. So starting off in the goalkeeper position, we've got a total of 5 nominees: Alisson, Lloris, Oblak, Courtois and De Gea. Now with these selections and all the others in this video, I'm going to base my pick on 3 main factors, and those are the individual performances of the player in 2018, so obviously just how good they've been, the silverware they won last season and how well they're doing this season with their club and country, and then finally just how good the player is on an Ultimate Team, because this is of course the FIFA 19 Team of the Year. It's nothing to do with the official UEFA Team of the Year, so these players are being picked to get cards to be used on Ultimate Team. So maybe if there's a scenario where I've got 2 or 3 players who've all kind of had pretty good seasons last year, I'll probably go with the player who has the best card on Ultimate Team. Or maybe if a player had a slightly worse season than someone else but has a much better card on FIFA, I'll probably go with them because I'd rather use them. But we're going to go through all these nominees. We've got Alisson, who was really good last season for Roma, getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League, and also very, very good for Liverpool this season, who are currently top of the Premier League. The thing going against him is the fact that he didn't win any silverware in 2018. We've then got Lloris, who of course did win the World Cup with France, but he's been in and out of Spurs' side this season due to injury, a drunk driving charge and a lack of form, and he has made a few mistakes as well over that time. So I'd say in terms of goalkeeping ability, he isn't on the level of some of the other nominees here. We've got Oblak, who's probably been the most consistent goalkeeper in 2018. He's always kind of been in the top 2 or 3 keepers in the world over the past couple of years really, and I think right now is probably the best keeper in world football. He also won the Europa League last season. We've got Courtois, who was really good last season, getting to the semi-finals of the World Cup with Belgium, and also winning the FA Cup with Chelsea. But this season he's been in and out of Real Madrid's side, who haven't performed that well, and he has conceded a lot of goals, not keeping many clean sheets. And then we've got De Gea, who is probably the best keeper in world football last season, but then this season's made a lot of not a lot of mistakes. He has made a couple, but he just hasn't really kept many clean sheets at all. I think it's only like 2 or 3 in the Premier League. That's not, of course, all down to him. He's not got a good defence in front of him. But also in the World Cup, he made a lot of mistakes. I think he conceded more goals than he made saves, and Spain really didn't do that well. So I think out of all these players, the players who've won the most silverware, we've got Lloris, Oblak and Courtois, who I think all won 1 trophy. And in terms of goalkeeping ability and just how good they've been in both seasons, I'd go with Oblak. I think he is the main pick right there. But let me know down below who you go with. I think there's strong arguments for De Gea, Alisson possibly, and possibly Courtois as well, possibly Lloris. There's strong arguments for all of them, and I think Ter Stegen could have also been in there, but I've personally gone with Oblak. Next up, we've got defenders, and there's a whole load of them: Manolas, Kimmich, Van Dijk, Varane, Jordi Alba, Vertonghen, Koulibaly, Umtiti, Thiago Silva, Marcelo, Chiellini, Hummels, Godin, Sergio Ramos, Trippier, Walker, Lovren, Rosalco, Carvalho and Hernandez. I'm out of breath. A lot of players. I'm going to go with a 4-3-3 formation, which is what EA typically go with for Team of the Year, which means I'm going to have obviously a back 4. I'm going to go with everyone in the right positions, so left back, right back and 2 centre backs, which is what we had last year. I think that's how EA will pick it, although I've seen some people go with like 3 centre backs and a left back, for example. I'm going to go with everyone in the right position. So we're going to start with centre-backs, as I think these are the easiest picks. Varane stands out for me, having won the World Cup and the Champions League, and probably being the best non-icon defender on Ultimate Team. I can't see why he wouldn't get in, so he's going to be a shoo-in for me. We voted for him. And then I think it's between Van Dijk, Umtiti and Sergio Ramos. Hummels, Godin, Chiellini and Koulibaly all could potentially get in, but I don't think they will. They've all been kind of arguably in that like top 3 centre-backs in world football in 2018, but I think with silverware or just how good they've been, it's between Van Dijk, Umtiti and Sergio Ramos to join Varane in the centre-back position. So going through the positives and negatives of each of these players, Umtiti won the World Cup and he also won La Liga, only losing 1 game and being very good defensively with Barcelona, so that's definitely something to take into account, and he's been really good this season. Van Dijk's been insane this season, arguably probably the best defender in world football so far, and last season got to the final of the Champions League, but he didn't win anything, and these other 2 players did, which is definitely something to take into account, and he didn't even get to the World Cup with Holland, which does play quite a deciding role here. And then Sergio Ramos He won the Champions League, of course, with Real Madrid, which is a massive trophy. I'd say that's not as big as the World Cup though, but I'm going to go with Ramos here just because TOTY isn't particularly good on Ultimate Team, given that he's only 6 foot tall. Van Dijk didn't win anything last season, but he has been very, very good. And Ramos has probably been up there, like in the top 3 centre backs in world football over 2018. I'd probably go with Varane, Van Dijk, and Ramos. And with Ramos edging it based on silverware, and obviously the fact that he was in the World Cup, although Spain didn't do that well, I'm going to go with him. He's also better on Ultimate Team, I'd say, and you could link him into a Varane, which would be sick. Then left back, we've got Marcelo, Jordi Alba, and Hernandez. I think most people will go with Marcelo. He won the Champions League last season. Jordi Alba was really good for Barcelona last season and this season as well. Marcelo hasn't been as good this year. Hernandez, though, did win the World Cup and the Europa League, so if you were to go on silverware, you'd want to probably include him. But I think based on individual performances between Alba and Marcelo, I haven't watched much of La Liga this year, apart from Barcelona, but I think I'm going to go with Marcelo. On Ultimate Team, I'd rather use Marcelo because of the 5-star skills, but I think Jordi Alba definitely stands a chance of getting in. I can't really pick between them, so I'm going to go with Marcelo because he won the Champions League, which is a bigger competition than La Liga, and you can link him into these two here. A little bit of an easier player to link into teams because if you look at left mids or left wingers in La Liga, especially ones who play for Barcelona, you've got Coutinho, who isn't really that good. Whereas if you look at Brazilians, you've got someone like Douglas Costa, for example, and Real Madrid players, you've got Varane and Ramos, who could also get in. And then at right back, we don't have many options. We've got Vrsaljko, Carvajal, Trippier, Kimmich, and Walker, I believe. Now, I'm going to discount Vrsaljko immediately because he didn't win anything, and he's just not at the level of these other guys. He had a good season, but he's not on the level of some of these other players. Carvajal, he didn't play that much last season. I think he was injured a little bit, and he's really good, but he's not been outstanding, I'd say. Kimmich has been really good, but his card is just really bad on Ultimate Team. I'd say the same for Carvajal. Like, no one uses either of them. Even if Kimmich got a Team of the Year card, he'd be trash. Like, you'd rather use normal Walker. He has an inform, Kimmich, and he still has, like, he averages like 75 in pace, defending, and physical, which is awful for a defender. Like, you can get a non-rare gold card with better stats than him. His stats are just really, really bad, despite being 85 rated, even though he's probably been the best right back in the world in 2018. But I'm going to go with Walker because he's by far and away the best right back out of these options on Ultimate Team. And he also obviously won the Premier League with Man City. Very, very good for them last season. They got 100 points. It was a record-breaking season. He also won the League Cup, and he got to the semi-finals of the World Cup. So definitely I'm going to go with him right here. By far the best player here on Ultimate Team. So he's going to be my selection. So for defenders, we've got Varane and Ramos at centre-back, and then Marcelo and Walker in the full-back positions. Next up, we've got the midfielders. Matuidi, Royce, Fernandinho, Perisic, Rakitic, Pogba, Busquets, Casemiro, David Silva, Isco, Kante, Dybala, Kroos, Modric, and De Bruyne. Straight away, I'm going to remove a few players who there's just no way they're getting in. Matuidi, Royce, Perisic, Fernandinho as well, Rakitic, Sergio Busquets, Casemiro, Isco, Dybala, and Kroos. So that leaves us with a few players to pick between, and we need 3 of them to make up our midfield trio. Modric, I think, will get in. Very, very good last season, winning the Champions League, getting to the final of the World Cup, and he also won the Ballon d'Or, which was a bit debatable. A lot of people thought different players should have won, but he did, of course, win the Ballon d'Or, so I think he'll get in. Then I think Kante should get in, given the fact that he won the World Cup, of course, and the FA Cup, and has been very, very good. Probably the best player in the world in his position. And then it's between Pogba, David Silva, and De Bruyne, I think, to finish off the team. I think they're the only players we've got left. Now, I'm not going to go with Pogba, even though he's got an amazing card in Ultimate Team when he won the World Cup. He scored in the final as well. He wasn't particularly good for Man United last season, and this season he wasn't until Solskjaer took over, and he's been really good then, but I don't think he's been on the level of De Bruyne and David Silva, and I think most other people would agree. Now, I'm going to go with De Bruyne as my pick here for Ultimate Team purposes because he blows Silva out of the water. But he has, of course, been injured for about 3 months this season, and David Silva's probably been City's best player in that period of time. And then Silva last season was amazing as well. Like, people go on about De Bruyne all the time, and Silva just kind of goes under the radar, but they're equally as important for City. De Bruyne is kind of the player that delivers those like wow moments, the amazing goals, the amazing passes, kind of the killer last bit of the play. Whereas David Silva is the person who controls the entire game. He controls the tempo of the play. He's the one in the midfield keeping on of possession, playing loads of balls all over the pitch, all the time, and just running the game really. Like, he plays such an instrumental role. So if I were to go on actual performances, I would probably go with Silva, because he's been consistent this season and last season. De Bruyne's obviously been injured, but De Bruyne did get to the semi-finals of the World Cup, which is something to take into account. So the midfield trio we're going to go with is De Bruyne, Modric and Kante. I think Silva definitely deserves a shout, but no one's going to vote for him because he's not that good in Ultimate Team. Pogba might get in. I've seen a few people selecting him, but I doubt he will. And then you've got a lot of players who've been really good, but they're either not that good in Ultimate Team, like Busquets or Kroos, for example, or they didn't really have that good of a season last year. So the three players we've got are Kante, Modric and De Bruyne. Finally, we've got the attackers. Again, we've got a trio to pick. Obviously, the best player from 2018 is going to be in there, Lionel Messi. He scored the most goals in 2018, got the most assists, created the most chances, completed the most dribbles, scored the most free kicks, scored the most goals from outside the penalty area, got the most man of the match awards. Obviously, you name it, he was probably the best at it last year. So he's going to be in there. And then we've got to pick two players out of Mbappe, Salah, Griezmann, Hazard, Neymar and Ronaldo, I'd say. Obviously, like Mane, Aguero, all those players were good, but I wouldn't say they were on the level of some of these other potential picks there. So Mbappe obviously won the World Cup. He scored in the final, was very good throughout the tournament. And with PSG, he won Ligue 1, and I assume he probably won a couple of the domestic trophies as well, whether that be the Coupe de la Ligue or the Coupe de France. I'm not 100% sure, but they normally win everything domestically. But let me know down below in the comments. Then we've got Salah, who didn't win anything but was amazing last season, breaking the Premier League goal scoring record, which had stood for quite some time, and also obviously taking Liverpool to the final of the Champions League. Then we've got Griezmann. He wasn't really that close to any of these other players apart from Mbappe in terms of goal scoring, but he did win the Europa League and the World Cup. Then we've got Hazard, who won the FA Cup with Chelsea and was also really good in the World Cup, getting to the semi-finals, and this season has been very, very good as well. We've got Neymar, who I don't really think stands a chance here. He was the Ligue 1 Player of the Year, but he was injured for like 3 months in Ligue 1 and then didn't do that well with PSG. But I know a lot of people go for him for Ultimate Team purposes because he is very, very good this year. And then of course we've got Ronaldo, who I believe was the second top scorer in 2018 behind Messi, a couple of goals behind him, and he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. So out of these players here, it's really, really tough to pick between them. I think I'd narrow it down to Mbappe, Salah and Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo will get in. No, like everyone's going to vote for Ronaldo obviously, so he'll get in. And then I think Mbappe will get in because on FIFA, people prefer Mbappe to Salah. It's really hard to pick between them. Salah individually was probably better. He scored a lot more goals than Mbappe. But Mbappe did win 2 trophies. I think 2, 3, maybe even 4. I'm not 100% sure, including the biggest trophy in world football. And with Salah not winning anything, I think plays into Mbappe's hands. So the front 3 is going to be obviously Messi, then Ronaldo, and then Mbappe right there. I really want to include Salah. I know I'm a City fan, and City fans generally hate Liverpool and their players, and I'm not saying I don't, but I think Salah definitely deserves to be in there. It's just really hard to pick. Maybe if they did a front 4, they could put all 4 of them in, and then maybe like only do 3 defenders. I'm not sure. I think they do have to go with the 4-3-3 though, but that is it. The trio in the attack of my team is Messi, Ronaldo, and Kylian Mbappe. This is my final pick for the team of the year. We've got Oblak in goal with Marcelo, Ramos, Varane and Walker making up the defence. Modric, Kante and De Bruyne in the midfield. And then we complete the team with Messi, Ronaldo and Mbappe. Of course, there are going to be a few players that you guys may want to include instead, like De Gea in goal, Van Dijk in the defence, Silva in the midfield. Maybe up front, someone like Neymar, Salah, Hazard. I'm not sure, but you can of course go and cast your vote using the FootWiz link down below in the description, or you can let me know in the comments section. That's what that's for. Also, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like on it. Let's try and smash 250 likes on the video. That would be much appreciated. I'm also being FaceTimed, so that's a bit rude. Say something to people.
I hate football.
That wasn't meant to happen, but anyway, if you did enjoy, leave a like, and I'll catch you later. Take care.